Hey y'all, welcome back to the Inner. Today I'm joined by my brother from Louisiana, Leon Emery.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey boss, how you doing today?
All right. Doing good there, Apostle. How you been?
Everything's been going well. It's great to have you on the show. If you would introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Leon and Leon Emery. Been walking with Yahweh for 20 years now. Been out in the marketplace working now, just bringing the kingdom of God into the marketplace right now. So that's my mandate, and the word that Yahweh has given me is this one word. When I was one day in prayer, He's just given me one word to focus on, which is that word is Shalom. So yeah, just the one word He's given me. He said, "Don't move off that." That's what your mandate pretty much is right now, to bring it forth and to bring it forth also into the marketplace, touch the hearts of the people, and bring forth His atmosphere of heaven, which is Shalom.
That's powerful. We're gonna circle back to that.
Yeah.
Um, if you would kind of tell us how your relationship with God, how your relationship with Yahweh and Yeshua really began and what it
Yeah,
really developed into.
yeah. So, um, actually, I had, man, this is telling a long how my age and everything. Now I'm going way back. uh, um, let's say when I got born again for a couple of months out of the Marine Corps back in '95. So, right after I got out of the Marine Corps, my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, she was born again, and she was ministering to me, and I just didn't want to hear anything about the gospel at all. So I was one of those hard headed, wanted to continue to run the streets and smoke weed and go to the clubs and everything else. And so I think one day she invited me to a cell group meeting, and I went and didn't want to be a part of it. And then she asked me to go to church with her. Didn't want to be a part of that neither. So one night I went to the club, and actually I don't. She was praying for me. Her and a bunch of ladies in the prayer in a cell group was praying for me. And this night, my something happened that my eyes was spiritually open, and I started seeing shadows and demons flowing around in this nightclub, and I thought it was the weed that I was smoking. And so pretty much that started a journey. And then I believe about a week later, I went to church with her again, and all of a sudden I found myself down at the altar and was born again. And all of a sudden everything pretty much the lifestyle that I was living was actually Yahweh changed my voice and my language, because I had a bad mouth. I used to curse a lot, coming out of Marine Corps. But
Yeah.
that's the first thing that left, was my change, was my language. He took the curse words out of my mouth. So to fast forward a little bit, got involved with a pastor and started building a church. We was in a mega church there in Baton Rouge, and we left there, and God called him to start a ministry. I followed him, me and my wife, and we established a church, built a church, started from his living room to building a whole building. So started from the ground up. And so really it was more religious, but I got some good training. So, through that, um, fast forward a little bit forward, back in 2014, what started me on this mystic journey, which was a dream. It came out of a dream. So no, didn't have no language, didn't have no understanding of what this meant, but I started searching it out. So in just a short, brief description of the dream was, I was in this a wine cellar, standing around this brown round table, and standing before me was a king on one side, dressed in kingly attire, and a priest standing on the other side in priestly attire. And up on this table was communion, was the unleavened bread and a white vase with some wine in it. And The king partook of the communion. They drunk, and they did it in this order. They drank the wine first, and then they ate a piece of unleavened bread. And the priest did the same thing. So I was just standing there, and the king turned to me and he said, "Partake, my son." So I partook of the communion, and on this table, all of a sudden appeared this long legal piece of paper. And all I remember on this piece of paper was the word resources. And I awakened from the dream. So with that particular dream, it started me to search, and I'm asking people what this. Nobody can tell me what it meant, and so I started just praying and asking the Lord, and the Lord just told me. He said, "You need to start with understanding the order of Melchizedek," and that started my journey. And I just started searching and searching and stepping outside of my church, because the church that I was in, they didn't have no relationships with no other church. So it was just the pastor. He only preached at his pulpit, and that's it. He had no relationships with no other church. And if you go visit another church, you just thought you was rebellious and you was the devil and you was this and this. And so I just got tired of that, being there and not knowing and being, just pretty much in bondage, pretty much. But I served him to the full capacity. I just really gave my all and all, because it was just like I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
You serve your commander. That's all I knew. So I think he took advantage of that, and I served him to the best of my ability, me and my family, and everything he did to build his ministry. It really wasn't his ministry; it was to build his empire, for
Mm.
him and his family and his children, because we help him build a hospital and everything else. So I got a lot out of it. I mean, I was paid well, and uh, from the job, because he was my boss and my pastor at the same time. So I
Hmm.
was paid and compensated well. At the time, I was just pretty much in bondage, was just afraid to really step out. So I started searching. And as I started searching, our relationship started getting really departing, because I started searching for more revelation and understanding and the truth. And so it led me on this journey. And And then this is when the Hebraic numbers start coming up about, as I kept running into this number 555, and it just over and over and over. So I went to a meeting where they had a prophet there. I forgot the guy's name now. It'll come to me, but he was there ministering, and I was talking to another young man there. He said, "Well, man, I was telling him about what I was experiencing." He said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, man, but I know a place you can go. It's a place in Alabama called the Gates of Zion." So I went, and that's when everything just started opening up. I started seeing they had all these Hebraic letters all over the wall and everything. So I started really just diving in, watching them online and everything. So, and I went to another revival meeting. The man just walked up to me and said, "Man, do you realize that there is a living letter following you?" And I said, "A living letter? What you mean a living letter?" He said, "A living letter, hey, the number 5." And I just like, oh, my mouth just opened up wide. I was like, oh my God, wow, this is it. So that started me to really search even more to try to understand what are these Hebrew letters, and what is this about the numbers and everything else. So I started really searching into it, and that's where I am today, right now. Just really have dived deeply into it and come into this one word, Shalom, that Yahweh has given me, to break it down and find out the fullness of it and understanding of it. And whatever you minister, whatever I preach or minister from a place of shalom, with the authority of shalom. So, yeah, that's just a brief description, real quick.
That's powerful. So you ended up circling right back around to where I was going to go next, which is the word shalom.
Yeah.
So, and you can take as much time as you want with this.
Okay. All
What does
right.
shalom mean to you?
All right. Well, shalom, the actual word itself, shalom is not just a word, it's a living being. So, and the word shalom, which we in America in the English language look at it as peace, but it's just
Mhm.
way much more in depth than that when you really break it down in the four living letters that it really is: the Shin, the Lamed, the Vav, and the Mem. And when you really break those letters down, Shalom is the very authority of heaven that really destroys that which causes chaos. And Shalom is the fullness of Yahweh. So to me, what it means is I go back to the beginning when Yahweh spoke the earth into existence. When, each one of us, even as you and I are talking, our
Mhm.
voice carries a certain frequency and a certain sound. So our voice are attuned to a certain frequency. So when Yahweh created the heavens and the earth, his voice is tuned at the frequency of shalom. So shalom is in the beginning, and it is the very word that causes creation and is a place where we abide in shalom. And when you abide in shalom, there is nothing missing, nothing broken, and nothing lacking. So when you and shalom is also a fragrance. Shalom is a fragrance. When you have shalom upon you and in you, you carry a certain fragrance about you. And when you're resting in shalom, there's an authority that comes from when you open up your mouth and you speak. And also, shalom can be felt and is tangible. When you carry the word shalom within you, people are drawn to you. People want to talk to you. People want to open up to you, and they don't even know why. But as soon as they come within your presence, they can feel something drawing it to you. And that happens to me a lot in the marketplace, wherever I go, homes that I go into, talking to people about, because I'm in outside sales and construction. So when I go to people's homes, I enter into their home and I just talk. And next thing you know, I'm there for an hour and a half, and I know their whole family business. I know every problem that they're going through, and I just sit there and listen, and Yahweh give me an opportunity to pray for them. So it don't happen all the time, but it happens most of the time. So yeah, the word shalom is so powerful, and that's what we're believing for our city here in New Orleans. We changed the name from New Orleans because Yahweh gave us this new word when prayer. We changed the name from New Orleans to Nola Shalom. So we are believing God to establish the very atmosphere of heaven here upon the earth within our city. So to destroy all the chaos. So to bring forth unity, because that's one of the meanings of shalom. Shalom is prosperity. Shalom is salvation. Shalom is tranquility, well-being, welfare. So within this one word shalom, you have the fullness of the gospel within this one word. It's just how far you want to go and how deep. And so shalom is a very powerful word. It's also part of the kingdom. It says the kingdom of God is righteousness, shalom, peace, and joy in the Holy Ghost. And it says in Romans that Yahweh says that it will be the shalom peace of God that will soon crush Satan where? Not under his feet, but under your feet. So you walk with authority, and where you go, you're carrying that shalom. So yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. And I like that you mentioned, and you get it, especially because I've been teaching a similar thing, is that most people use shalom with an idea of peace,
Yeah.
but shalom is very destructive
Yes.
when
Yeah.
you're using it the right way,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Especially
Yeah.
when you start to deal with it letter by letter,
Oh
right? You got
wow.
shin, you start off with some destruction. Something's
Yeah.
getting toe up somehow. Then you
Yes.
go to Lamed. Lamed could be the authority or it can be the learning. Both are
Yes.
problematic. Oh, I got to undo and destroy everything I've been taught.
Come on. Come on. Yes.
Then you go over to the Vav and then the Mem. Oh, so on the other side of getting toe up and flipped around and rebranded and reconstituted, reconstructed, then I finally get to relax in this this hot tub y'all got over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
people don't realize how destructive shalom really is. It's more
Woo.
active than it is passive. So it bothers me seeing people use it in a passive aggressive way. In the same way,
Yeah.
you know, if you
Yeah.
grew up in the South like I grew up in the South,
Right.
you learn how
Right.
to say certain churchy phrases just
Right.
to excuse yourself and be more Christ-like in appearance than the other person you have an issue with. So we used to hear,
Yes.
okay, God bless you. All right, I'm
Yeah.
praying for you. So I've seen shalom be used in a similar way. All right, shalom.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Shalom doesn't work passive aggressive.
No. That's why.
Shalom.
That's why. That's why Yahweh He named me. He gave me the name of the ministry while I was sitting here. He said, "I want you to call your ministry Flames of Shalom." And then
Yes.
the message that I ended up teaching on right after that, he gave me a word. He said, "Now I want you to give a message, a word on the whirlwind of Shalom." So you just
Mhm.
imagine a whirlwind or a tornado coming through, and you say, "What is that Shalom?" Yeah, because it's gonna destroy. It's gonna destroy everything that's causing chaos. And after that is gone, then you're gonna get that calm.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's right.
I
You
love
said,
it. Because something that I've been in a lot of conversations with mystics lately, and there's
mm-hmm.
a similar frustration that a
Yes,
lot of us are having in that we're watching a lot of things happen that we don't like, and we're watching the masses in general have no momentum behind solving problems.
correct, correct.
That's a
Wow.
lack of shalom.
Yes,
Because
yes, yes,
it's that thing that gives you the ability to handle the chaos and put an end to it. It makes
yeah.
you chaotic enough to put down chaos.
Come on, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that. And I can see how that could be definitely useful, especially now.
Oh,
So if
wow.
nobody else is telling you this, what you're doing is needed,
Oh,
especially
wow.
in New Orleans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's very much needed. It's very much needed. I asked Yahweh, I said, "Well, look, Yahweh, where you want me to start?" He said, "Start on your job in the marketplace. And
Hmm.
as you go, then you will bring shalom everywhere I tell you to go. Just know that you carry it. And no longer, he gave me this phrase, it was said before, but he was telling me to say, stop. I mean, it was like a big stop, being and seeing yourself as a thermometer. You're a thermostat. You're the one that sets the temperature and the atmosphere wherever you go. So you set the atmosphere. So even on my job, just a little brief thing that was going on with my job, my boss, he ended up, seeing my walk and wanting to know more about God and was asking certain questions and been with this company now for 3.5 years. So he was just telling me, uh, asking me to really pray for him on certain things, with the company and the business and like in the beginning of this year, I was with him and I had a word for him and the Father gave me a word, so I tell him that I will be pruning him this year. He's going through a pruning process, and I said, Yahweh, that's not a. I said, I don't know if he gonna understand that, and he said, well, no, just tell it to him. So I told him. He said, what does that mean? So I said, well, there are some things that's gonna be pruned and it's gonna be cut off
Yeah.
from the company, and you're gonna, it's because he's pruning you back to make you more fruitful, and sure enough, it did happen. Some of his top earners in his company, salesmen, um, tried to undermine his company and take it from him, and they got cut off, So, but it caused him to really see that they really wasn't for him. They was really against him. So I brought him back to that word. And about 2 months ago, he asked me, he said, first of all, let me backtrack. He started wanting me every staff meeting we had, he wants me to open up in prayer before he even started talking. So in his staff meeting, so I open up in prayer. So then about a month ago, he asked me, he said, well, Leon, will you please have a Bible study? I said, yeah. He said, well, no, I want you to have it here at the workplace in a conference room and have a Bible study. I said, okay. I said, well, I want to make sure you understand what you're asking for, because that means that there's a cleaning and a cleansing that's going to happen here in this company when you open up for this. He said, I'm ready because I done been through hell and back, and I need more of God. So, and that's what has happened, within this company that I'm working with now, that Yahweh has brought forth His presence, His pruning, and I can see the very atmosphere is shifting, and that's what happens when you, just like you were saying, when shalom comes, it's very destructive. So
Hmm.
it start happening, things start happening, but it's a cleansing, and it's something that needs to be done. And what you were saying about the mystic, um, once I got in and started learning all that, this was my frustration at one time. I was like, okay, yeah, we're going all into the heavenlies. We see all this, we do all this, but what now?
Mm.
I mean, okay, what is that changing? That's changing just me, or is that changing others? What do we do with what we just saw and what we learned? So how do I take what I saw up there, because all it's doing is taking me more and more. I know heard the phrase that you're so heavenly minded, earthly good, but that's not
Yeah,
right in a
yeah.
sense. But the mystic side, I love it, and it's taught me a whole lot. But I'm trying to see, okay, Yahweh, there is a bridge. I need to bring forth one of those letters out of
Hmm.
Shalom, which is the Vav, the connector,
Hmm.
to connect what I see in the heavenlies, and I need to connect that here upon the earth.
Yeah,
And Yahweh, I need you to teach me and show me how to do that. And he said, that is what you're doing now.
yeah,
So, uh, so he said, you might not be on a stage or have a pulpit or have this big platform, but this is what I want you to be. I want you to do.
yeah,
You're my, you're my Marine that's out there on the front line doing this in stealth mode and undetected, bringing forth the shalom of my kingdom to the hearts of the people. So, yeah.
yeah. I like something that you mentioned just about shows that you've been listening a little bit, right? you know, because similar frustration I've had is I'm watching people get whacked, I'm watching us have these beautiful experiences, and then I watch those same people go out and they don't care about what's happening to other people. I'm like, I think y'all missing it. I think we forget this supposed to be on earth as it is in heaven, not I experience heaven and let earth go to hell.
Yeah, yeah. Me and my four and no more. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really what the ecclesia was all about, the vav, connecting that thing that's in heaven to what's missing on earth, that heaven being the land of abundance, or the holy of holies being this place of infinity, and earth being the famine land, the place where lack exists, priesthood being the bridging of the gap. the
Yes.
vav,
Yes.
which is compassion. You have to care for that to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, but that's what that's all about. He says, upon this rock I'll establish my ecclesia. Whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Is because I'm giving you a priesthood that bridges the gap. This is
Come on.
real intercession.
Yes. Come
So
on.
even this, right, a lot of people would consider what you do just marketplace ministry. I just call it ministry. The church stuff that we got used to isn't ministry.
Mm-hmm.
We got used to it. We've learned that that's not ministry.
Right.
Even when we read the Bible, we watch the Lord himself. We watch Yeshua go around. He didn't set up shop in one spot and just invite people to come see him. He went where they was at.
Yep. Yep.
When he released his apostles and his other disciples out, they went wherever they already were going to go. Some of them went right back to work and just brought the kingdom with them when they went back.
That's it. Hmm.
We forget the easy part, which is just be kingdom everywhere
Yes. Yes.
instead
Yes.
of this one place once a week.
Wow. 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 That's so good. And then you got the other side. You got the churches that are, crying out for revival, and you got the same people going around coming down to the altar every
Mhm.
Sunday, getting their hands laid on them and repenting, and the pastor up there preaching, you need to get born, and and they just keep going around this. I just see it like a mountain. They just going around this same old mountain over and over. You know, how many more prophetic words you're gonna get? How many more hands? I'm not condemning them. You know, it's not.
Mhm.
I'm not speaking, but it's just something has to be done because there's so much that needs to be done out here, and we are the eklesia, and we are the ones that needs to get out and make this change. And yeah, we have the mystic. Now I'm going switching back to the mystic side. We got this knowledge,
Mhm.
all this knowledge, all this revelation, and what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? We're just sitting on it. And you said something about compassion. I remember Tim Story, an old teaching from Tim Story. He said this. He had a teaching. I never forget this teaching. His one phrase. He said, "Compassion is the key to the miraculous." And so once you have that, man. So yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah. And the viewers might not have noticed, but we never stopped talking about Shalom.
No.
All
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
is Shalom.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I and you can tell me if you agree with this or not, or if you got something else to add to it. But I
Mhm.
believe one of the things that took us off track collectively was making the focus only on evangelism, which means that the focus is on the possibility of people not understanding or not
Right.
wanting to work. You want to make it seem easier so that you can attract more people. And in that, you water it down to a point where you have all these people and no responsibility across the board.
Yes.
Like I've said it in a few ways that there's two separate messages that I've watched a lot of preachers battle with. There's the message that they share when they're trying to reach people, and then there's the message they spend the rest of their time giving for the people that have already been reached.
Mm.
Because the next part wasn't in the pitch. They didn't tell them people that accepting Christ and choosing to live a holy life included changing the world too. They didn't put that in the pitch. So now, oh, come on, y'all, we got to go out. We got to do this. We got to do that. Come on, we got to, because that wasn't in the pitch. This other work stuff wasn't in the pitch. Just
Yes.
that he
Yes.
loves you and he's here for you was the only thing in the pitch.
Right. 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 That is so true. And to just hold on to those who've been there so long too, because you want to keep them in your fold. You know, you got to train them up, release them, and let them go out. You know, because each one of us have an assignment, and we have something that's written on our scroll, something that Yahweh created us to do, and you just not gonna fulfill it. I don't believe just in that body. You got to get out and start doing. At least that leader need to equip you in your gifting and send you out. You know, to send you to start doing, but not just to keep you there for year after year. You know, holding on to you because they just want to keep you in there. And one reason they're keeping you in there because of you serving, and also because of your tithe or your contribution that you're bringing in there. So, and I'm speaking this from out of experience, you know, and then you see it everywhere you go, and it's just that people need to really feel and know that there is the fullness of the shalom. You know, you got
Mhm.
to get out and start moving and operating in that which Yahweh has called you to do. And I think we got to do a better job in really teaching and training and equipping and releasing. It's the releasing part really that needs to
Yeah.
happen more. So,
Yeah. Because no disrespect to my former pastor, but that was one of his vices.
mm,
He
yeah,
struggled to release people.
yeah,
So you had a lot of people who had capabilities that hadn't had the permission.
right, right,
And
right.
that's something I've seen with a lot of leadership. I actually respect Matthew Stevenson. He said this
Yeah,
years ago, back when I used to listen to him, even about his Sunday school. He said, every other school you go to, you're supposed to graduate at some point. You're not supposed to just be in Sunday school. You're supposed to learn, grow, develop, and then you out, and then you just trust it to go do good things with it. I
Right.
like that, but
I like that. Good.
that's apostolic thinking, not
Right.
evangelistic thinking.
Right. Right. Right.
That's not
Right.
shepherd thinking, because shepherds are just maintaining their flock. Even that came with the shift of powers, where we've prioritized pastors and evangelists above the rest. Now, in
Yes.
order to be an authentic prophet or to be an authentic apostle, you have to be submitted to a pastor. And funny enough, I challenge people on this. It's been up on my Facebook for almost a month now, and no one has provided me a verse yet where you have apostles and prophets under a pastor. It doesn't exist. You see them working with each other, you see them training each other, but you never see an apostle submitted under a pastor that he go check in with to make sure he's still doing his apostolic calling, or prophet submitted to uh a
Yeah.
pastor, just make sure they don't go too far out. Like,
Correct.
that's a little backwards. That's kind of the whole function of the prophet, is to be out there,
Right.
way
Right.
outside of the box, getting the full scope of things
Right.
to help
Right.
those of y'all that's in the box.
Right. Right.
You know, a lot of it comes down to us being in the wrong structure,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you have a lot of well-meaning people. Like, when I mention people in religion, I'm talking about my past self,
Mm-hmm.
not some
Yes. Yes. Me too.
demonic warlord. It's like, no, that was
Right.
me back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to think that was the only way that this stuff worked, until several times over and over again the royal family showed me that no, it don't work that way. He
Yep.
said, I
Right.
work with y'all, I
Yes.
don't agree
Yes.
with y'all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's okay. What should we be doing if you just working with us but don't
Yes.
agree with us? Okay, I'll change.
Yes. 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 Wow. So good. So good. Yeah. Freedom. Freedom being released, knowing who you are. It's like know who you are in Christ and know where you are in Christ. And just have the freedom to know that you can go and fulfill your calling, your mandate freely without any condemnation or any kind of guilt or anything like that, that you got to report back and you feeling, like you rebellious or you being disrespectful. We're here for a purpose, and we're sharing the good news of the gospel, and we got to share it, and share it in love, and move in love. A lot of these leaders, that's the one thing that their ingredient that they're really missing is love.
Mhm.
So it's all about control.
Yeah,
So they think that control is love. No, because if control was love, then Yahweh, the whole world would be born again and saved, because He will
yeah,
control us and call us all in. But love is giving you a free will and a choice to
yeah.
choose.
It's
So
impossible to have love without free will.
yes, yes, wow, yeah, so good.
Yeah, because love leaves the possibility of rejection.
Yes, yes,
Freedom gives the possibility of disobedience.
yes. Hmm. Wow.
Eventually, it circles back. Eventually, there's the common fears, and that's really what it is. It's a lot of fear that leaders have. Some of
Mm,
them, they fear more than they love, so they're afraid of people going past a certain point, because they don't trust them to do good things, or better yet, they don't trust God with people past a certain point.
mm, yeah.
It's like, oh no, if I don't control every facet of your life, you might do something wrong. It's like, you don't trust God with his own people.
Yeah, yeah,
You got to watch all of it. I'm like, I
right.
get it to a certain point, but
Mm.
Even in that, like I'm a teacher, I got students under me, I've been mentoring people for years. Sometimes I watch them from afar and watch them make mistakes just so they can learn on their own for a bit.
That's it. Okay.
Like a
That's good.
parent, you know,
Like a
sometimes
parent.
you let
Yeah.
them touch the stove so that they learn. Now we get to teach you, okay, you hated that experience. Let's talk about how to never have it again.
Yes. Yeah.
Before you had that negative experience, you wouldn't have listened. But you
Right.
know, parents abuse it too. Once a kid
Right.
understands what hot is, everything you don't want them to touch is hot now.
Yeah.
Some ice
Oh,
cream, hot. They won't
hot.
touch it.
Guilty. Guilty. Oh boy. Right. That's so true. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's that shin, you know, bringing forth that shin, that flame,
Yeah,
you know,
hot.
it's hot, hot, you know. So, yeah, but being in the mystic movement is really awesome. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I love it because it set me free from religion
Yeah,
and got me to the place where I am today and really learning more and finding it's how the Holy Spirit connect you with people. You know, it's this movement is really causing those who is in religion to be set free because now those who are in religion saying to themselves, is this all it is? This is it? I mean, I go to church, I come here, give my tithes and all, we go do a little evangelistic little outreach, and then we come home and that's it, you know, and we go to another conference and then we go to another thing and hear another word. It has to be more to it than this. And
yeah,
that's what's happening right now. Those who are in the churches now are awakening to the sense that there must be more. And that more is drawing them out. And they want the more. They want to understand who they are. They want to understand where they are in Christ. And that's what's happening right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about Hey Noon. I've been seeing you
Hey,
make a few posts about that.
yeah, yeah. So that came about uh I was at the gates of Zion. I remember Apostle Aaron, he was talking about, try to be sensitive to the letters. The letters and the numbers that follow you. See if there are six letters and Yahweh wants to give you a new name. So in the search of really praying, it was just really, I mean, for a while, wasn't getting it. And I just kept studying it and writing the numbers and the letters down. So I say, I know my first letter is hey, and the number five. So I wrote down five. So I say, okay, I can't get it. So I'm just going to write down the numbers. So what I see, so I say I was just in prayer and I saw the number five and I saw 30 and I saw 10 and I saw 50 and I saw another 10 and then the last letter I could not get and it was mixed because I kept seeing 50 and then I was putting them together. It's a long process. I was putting these numbers and letters together. So when I added it all up and was trying to see, and then I'll start looking at the letters itself. So I got the first letter was hey, then it was the E, which is lamed. If you want to break down the vowel in the Hebraic, which is lamed, and then I had the yod, which is the Y, and then there was a N in there which is noon, and then the yod again, and then the N, which is the final noon. So and I put it all together, and I was putting it together. I don't know how I had a piece of paper and I was writing it. And then I put it together, and I said, well, Lord, that's just two letters, because that's hey noon. He said, well, no, you got to look deeper into it. So I broke it down by numbers, and that's why I
Mhm.
was talking about the numbers at first, because the number five is hey, number 30 is the Lamed, and you got 10, which is Yod, and you got 50, which is the noon, and then you got 10 again, which is Yod, and you got 700, and that's the final noon, and that's how I came up with Hey Noon, and then it was also um, then I kept telling when I was talking to you earlier, I kept seeing the number 555. So when you break just the two names right there, you get, if you just look at it in the natural, it's 55.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, by her name being Janelle, her name, that name means grace. And then I have a daughter
Mm-hmm.
named Hannah. Her name means grace. So you got 55, you got
55.
grace. So those are the little things that he was putting together for me, and he came up with this name, and he said, "Your new name is Hey Noon." And by having that new name, he was telling me, he said, "Well, the meaning." I said, well, "Okay, well, Yahweh, give me the meaning of this." And he said, "Well, this is a revelation that I'm giving you right now with the meaning of your name. And the meaning of your name is you, Hey Noon, have entered into Zion during the age of Shalom, and you are in your seat of rest. And as I eat, I will breathe Yahweh Abba, holding and releasing the staff of his authority in the creative light as a righteous son, faithful to carry out the mandate of the allspark of change in the rest as king and priest in the order of Melchizedek. I decree shalom. So this is your mandate that you carry in the meaning of your name as a righteous son. Hey Noon.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful. See, when I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, hey is, the breath, noon of multiplication. So it's like the breath of multiplication.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then I hear you mention Melchizedek. I'm like, well, he runs the treasury.
yeah. Oh, uh-oh. Come
So
on.
that fits.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Yes. That's good. Yeah. The hay, the breath of Yahweh. So when Yahweh breathed into Adam, he breathed the breath, the hay, into Adam, and he became a living being. And when Yeshua, when the disciples was locked away, when they was afraid of the Jews in John 20, the first words that Yeshua spoke to them was shalom.
Hmm.
When he greeted himself, he said, "Shalom, peace be with you." And he went on talking and everything. Then he didn't say no other words in between there. You can go back and look at the verse. And then his next greeting, his next words was again, "Shalom be unto you." And then he showed him the wounds in his hands and his side. And then what did he do then? He took a deep breath and he breathed upon them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." So it was Yahweh in the beginning, then Yeshua right here. It was all beginning with the breath, the ruach of God. And then then you got a third one, which is the Gamel, which is the fullness. On the day of Pentecost, that was a sound of a rushing mighty wind, the breath, the wind of God breathed upon them. So that's what is hay. Is the hay is the breath, the wind, to behold the breath, the allspark, the living life of Yahweh within you. So, and the noon is the sun. You become a righteous son once you receive the breath of God. You become this righteous son, that seed, that righteous seed. And so, yeah, we can stay on that all night.
So talk to me a bit more about the supernatural. When
Oh
did
wow.
you finally get comfortable with hearing and seeing and really just being a supernatural person? How did that transition happen for you?
That it happened really in just in dreams. So I was a person that had a lot of dreams, and I'm always trying to search out the meaning. And um, I just kept searching out the meaning of dreams that I have in the night. And so um, early on in my, I remember someone say you got to be faithful to record your dreams. If you got a phone on your side of your bed or a pad, just write it down. Even if you don't know what the dream means, sound crazy, just continue to keep writing it out. So I did that for a while, and I never knew what they meant. Nothing, didn't understand, and that started me to really start searching. So then I come up here in my little prayer room and pray and sit and wait and just pray, get anxious, not sitting and waiting long enough because I say, I don't see nothing. I don't hear nothing. I'm praying. I'm asking you, Father, what did this dream mean? Nothing happened. So uh, that was a continual process. I just kept searching, just stay faithful with that one little thing, the dreams, and trying to get an answer, trying to get a revelation. And one night I was up here praying and and asking Yahweh about a dream. He didn't give me the answer of a dream. He gave me a vision. This was the first time me having a open vision. So and it had to do with where I was. So this was the most odd thing. I was in this little igloo. This vision was I was in this little igloo type place and it was cold and I was just sitting there like this and I was balled up in a little knot and all of a sudden this hammer came out of nowhere and it broke it open. So then I'm looking, I'm out there was like the clouds. So I step out of the igloo and I'm standing on the clouds and that was Yeshua ahead of me. So I ran toward him. But as I was running toward him, I became like this little boy and I embraced him. And as I embraced him, he said, this is the place where you shall always be, and this is the place where you shall remain. And that was the vision. And that vision right there started me to search. And actually, it was a vision that I went back to my pastor at the time to share with him. And he kind of rebuked me and said, God didn't give you no vision like that. God ain't working with no hammer. And I said, okay. I said, okay, all right. And a lot, and I went back home. I was feeling all because he really condemned me really bad
Hmm.
about the vision because I shared it in front of the church because I was too excited. It was doing night of communion. I was so excited about the open because it was my first open vision to really have. I was so excited to share it. But he gonna rebuke me and tell me God ain't show you no vision, no hammer. God don't work with no hammer. I'm like, wait a minute. I heard about a hammer in the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm like Jeremiah. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow. I said, okay. So then again, I was just like, man, that vision was you being set free out of religion, you know,
Hmm.
and at a cold place. You was cold and Yahweh's breaking you free. That's why he came forth with a hammer. And man, and sure enough, out of that vision, all kinds, and that's when Shalom, I believe Shalom started happening because all kinds of chaos and stuff everything started happening. I had to leave. I left my job, a nice paying job, 6-figure job, because I was a hospital administrator, and I had to, I just decided to leave. I could no longer be under this any longer. And I took a $50,000 pay cut, and I just went and started working for a landscaping company, being the general manager, because I just wanted to be free. And so I got free from that, and it started me on this mystic journey, going from different hubs and churches that was teaching on it. I was just searching, and supernaturally, God connected me with people like yourself and others. He just supernaturally have people come across my path, and I'm so thankful that He didn't connect me with people that was of error or darkness, because this is it can be a scary journey because you don't know who you're going to be connected to and they're going to teach you the wrong thing. But
Yeah.
I was connected to Yahweh supernaturally. I can say he did it all by himself, connected me with some loving people along this journey to lead me to the right place to where I am today. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I started on my mystic journey. You want
Even
open.
talking about, being connected to the right people and being grateful for not being linked up with the wrong people, it reminds me of a phrase I found myself saying. I'm like, I'm so glad for all the times I wanted to work with people or be mentored by people, and it didn't work. Especially years later, you see the state that they in. I'm like, oh, I would have been all in the middle of that. I'm like, hey,
Wow.
it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. That is true. Wow. Wow.
But in that regard, just to kind of like share a little honor, who have been some of the most influential mystics in your life, whether, and they don't have to be popular,
Right. Right.
uh, or they could be modern, they could be ancient, just people that you really glean from.
All right, so I have to say this because this is the first one that I really went to and I did not understand nothing. I was mad because my friend invited me to this guy. It was in Clayton. So he was here and one of my friends invited me to one of his meetings. And I'm sitting there in this meeting for like about an hour and I was got up and I looked at my friend. I said, "Man, don't you ever invite me to a place like that. I ain't understand nothing that man talking about." I mean, nothing he was saying made sense to me. He was just like, "Man, you just got to keep coming. You got to keep coming." I say, "No, they don't work like that." I was arguing with him. I was just angry because I was like, "I don't understand nothing he talking about. That stuff crazy. That ain't, what is he talking about?" So so he
Yeah.
said, "Now, calm down. Just come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow." I said, "I don't know if I'm coming back tomorrow, man. I don't know about nothing this man talking about." So I just kept listening. I came back again, and then he said, "Well, I think you need to go online and you need to look at Dr. O." So I got into him, listened to some Dr. O. Then Justin Abraham, and then Grant and Sam Mahoney, and so those people I just started listening to, and so then I got connected with Gates of Zion down in Mobile, Alabama, with Apostle Aaron, and that's where I really everything really opened up for me there because they were connected with Ian Clayton and all those guys, and everything started really opening up for me, and so start building relationships and come in contact with certain people, and some of the people that I really glean from, they just regular people, I just glean from them when we just got online or had a home meeting and just sit back and talk and prayed and just going into the realm of the spirit, and some of the stuff I listened to with Bob Jones and some of the prophetics and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how it really started.
Nice. Yeah, I've gotten to know some of them up close, some of them from afar. Like,
Yeah.
you know, me and Ian, we worked together for about 2 years before I fully committed myself to just doing Cave of Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, as of this year, me and Ian still get along. We talked a few months ago.
Good. Good.
But yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Especially, I got some Dr. O stuff I'm probably gonna share with you off camera.
Okay. Good.
It's good
Good.
stuff. I ain't got nothing
Yeah.
negative to say about Dr. O.
Yeah. 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 Good. Good.
But
That'd be
that's
great.
powerful. That's some good people.
Yeah.
Um, we're coming to a close. So what I want to do is I want to open the floor up for you to share some last words of wisdom. Pretty much just giving you the floor to flow to prophesy if you want to.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, I guess you could share where people can connect with you. If you have any books or products, anything,
No, I don't
floor's
have.
open.
Yeah. I need to write something. I need to start putting some stuff together. But I guess, like a friend of mine, apostle there named Jojo Dawson. He gave me a word many years ago. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. He gave me a word like, I mean, it's about 10 years ago. He saw me. He said, "Leon, there is so much word in you." He said, "You just do this. Just do a 2 minute video every night. Just read a scripture. Do it every day, and something is gonna unfold and happen." I didn't do it, and I'm look back at that and I'm like, wow, that was the word of the Lord at that
Yeah.
time. So he said, you just start with something small
Yeah.
and just release it. Because, I had a lot of camera shy, being on camera and recording and not being able to, just being hard on yourself because of what I came out of, the ministry. Because my old pastor, he beat you down, a
Yeah.
lot. You try to step up, he beat you down, So, Yeah. What I
I
will go
just
ahead.
before I pass it 100%, I hate that you said that before I said what I'm finna say because it's pretty accurate. Just that when you mentioned the book thing, I was like, well, truthfully, you're more called to make some video libraries. And then you
Yeah.
start talking about recording small. I'm like, I didn't miss my opportunity. Can't prophesy afterwards. The proof, I
Oh,
already said it.
yo, that's good. That's good. That's the flow though. It's good. No, I receive it. I receive it. Yeah. Uh yeah. So my word for anyone that are listening now, you know, don't be afraid to step out of the boat and do what Yahweh has called you to do. And don't despise the day of small beginnings. Start now, start with something, start by faith. And when you step out of that boat, yeah, you may sink, but know this, that Yeshua is right there with you to grab your hand. But just keep your eyes upon him and he will keep you in that perfect shalom peace. So step out of the boat and do what Yahweh has called you to do. Don't worry about falling. Don't worry about messing up. Don't worry about how it sounds. Don't worry about your pedigree, your background. Don't worry about if you can't speak, spell, read, or whatever. You have a voice. Speak forth his word and speak it with boldness. Because Yahweh has called you, and there is someone out there that needs to hear what you carrying, hear your testimony, and hear what you're carrying. Each one of you all are created for a reason, and each one of you carry a certain sound, a certain frequency within your heart that's going to connect and help someone else. Each one of you have been through the crushing. So yes, you have been through the crushing where there is a crushing of the olive creating the oil and a crushing of the grape that's creating that wine. So you carry an oil and a wine that's going to heal someone else out there that is wounded, especially those that's been in the church. So you need to speak forth the word of the Lord and not be afraid. So don't let fear keep you in bondage. Let love release you with boldness. So release your sound and your frequency. Know that Shalom is with you wherever you go. Just speak his word, and the breath of the Ruach of God will be up on your tongue as you speak. So just speak his word. Speak it with boldness. Hallelujah. Shalom.
Awesome. So, where can people connect with you?
Oh wow! Just on Facebook, you can connect with me on Facebook. Oh yeah, I think I'm on Instagram too. I'm not too much in this technic in the social media as much, but they can connect with me on social Facebook and Instagram. So yeah,
All right, brother. It's been nice having you on. This was
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Definitely got to do some work on some projects together.
Yes, that would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
Well, y'all, this concludes this episode of The Inner. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Later.